going on about 18 hours. 18 to 19 hours into a 24-hour march that started yesterday between 12 noon and 1 p.m. That took the march across from City Hall Park across the Brooklyn Bridge to Borough Hall, up through Brooklyn, and then back over to Manhattan again. And the march has been going strong ever since. I have been streaming on Facebook. Majority of the time, but I figured let me go ahead and try. Reason I did that is because the earlier stream doing it this way did freeze up or got disrupted, so I figured now was a good time to try. You got to keep in mind, people have been marching for 18 hours now. So people have been marching for about 18 hours now. So it's been a long yesterday and today. Like I said, this march has been going on for about 18 hours. And you have people like myself that have been out here all of those hours. So yeah, you've got voices that are hard or hoarse. Energy is there. The march is going on. Definitely going to complete the 24 hours. But yeah, if you're just tuning in, the energy's there, the desire's there, but after 18 hours, things do sort of wear on you.
Come help us. Come join us. Come join us. Like, who shuts it down? Who shuts it down? Who shuts it down? Who's taking? That's right. These are the people's dream down. Let's go, girl. We know the alcohol is the program. We almost there, y'all. We were close. We almost home. We almost home. I said, some might say that abolition is the hardest thing you could ever do in your entire life. But we're still doing it. Why is abolition required for Black liberation? Why is abolition required for Black liberation? Because there ain't no justice in a racist system. 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 Ain't no good cops in a racist system. 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 No fair jobs in a racist system. No fair trials in a racist system. No fair chance in a racist system. No fair chance in a racist
Hey, Claudia. Morning, everyone.
What do we want?
Yeah,
Do we want it?
we're up in Harlem right now. This is part of the 24-hour march. Kicked off about 1 p.m. yesterday. Started at 12, but the march actually kicked off about 1. So this is going on like 18 hours. People marching, and they have had breaks in between. But yeah, it's from Manhattan to Brooklyn, and then here now. So it's been a long, long night. But the march is still going on. Some people had to break off, but the march is going on. We're getting close to that 24-hour mark.
Stay inside the bike ride.
Let's see. Yeah, so at the 18-hour mark right now, which means basically 6 more hours to go.
Mama, mama, can you see what the system's done to me? They locked us up and put us down.
They locked us up and put us down.
Ain't no justice in this town.
Ain't no justice in this town.
Papa, Papa, can't you see
Papa, Papa, can't you see
what the system's done to me?
what the system's done to me?
They lock us up and put us down.
They locked us up and put us down.
Ain't no justice in this town.
Ain't no justice in this town.
Sister, sister, can't you see
Sister, sister, can't you see
what the system's done to me?
what the system's done to me?
They locked us up and put us down.
They locked us up and put us down.
Ain't no justice in this town.
Ain't no justice in this town.
Brother, brother, did you see
Brother, brother, can't you see
what the system's done to me?
what the system's done to me?
They locked us up and put us down.
They locked us up and put us down.
Ain't no justice in this town.
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 People, people, can't you see
People, people, can't you see
what the system's done to me?
what the system's done to me?
They locked us up and put us down.
They locked us up and put us down.
Ain't no justice in this town.
Okay, I see a ton of police cars coming up in the background.
Ain't no justice in this town.
I said it on the Facebook feed, but I know this is going out to Facebook as well as Twitter and YouTube. If you can go ahead and share this out, just because right now I see all the police cars coming up in the background, and definitely if shit hits the fan, I definitely want to make sure that things are covered.
Papa, Papa, can't you see? Stay close, Tom. What the system's done to me?
What the system's done to me.
They locked us up and put us down. Ain't no justice in this town.
Ain't no justice in this town.
Ain't no justice in this town. Ain't no justice in this town. Ain't no justice in this town.
I know. Normally I would have taken the stream down. Well, usually when we jump, you know, up on that. But see, look at them. They were rushing around. I love that. These over here are the noisy neighbors. Look at that. How many people are over there? And how many of them? Wow. Not to mention the other ones that we don't see. My count is probably about 120 altogether, officers. Wow. Yeah. All of these police officers, I mean, this march is so peaceful, so calm. And considering the rest that they've taken in between, that they still have these many police cars out here. And there's everyone's, the one to blame. That white shirt over there is making the calls. That's why he's calling in. And over here with the car, but. And I think he's actually calling Nicholas. So we're going to see what they try to make an excuse for. So all of these police cars which have been running all over the place are here for this small group. So, I mean, this is just like, reality with this march, they could have had 3 police cars just.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. It's like it scales up where like they seem to have a minimum number of officers that they assign, which is quite high. You know?
Yes.
And I feel like that number is like the number won't double as it won't double right away. You know, it's just there's like.
Yeah, true. This march that started yesterday at 1 in the afternoon. Abolition Park 24-hour march. Black Lives Matter, police brutality. It's been this calm. They march, they rest, and sometimes for like 2 hours. But yeah, they've had like twice this number of police following them. And they will get on the train and then go to another stop even, but it's like they're not doing anything. And it's the number is just ridiculous. We were saying they could have had 3 police cars with this march because it's not, you know, they weren't doing anything. They weren't disrupting businesses or anything else. You know, it's like, you know, it's ridiculous the number of that. And I keep mentioning that too. It's like, because at one point there were like 40 people, but they had like 150 officers and like 40 vans, and it's like, come on. Hey, you too. So your tax dollar is hard at work in New York City. And I'm looking at this, but sometime within the next 20 minutes. Oh, here we go. 2 more. And they're going to come around. It's probably going to be twice as many in about the next 20 minutes. So, yep, here we go. We've got the first 2 coming around now. It's just sort of like 2 more. Okay, I'm going to do my standard announcement. Okay, forgetting about these guys over here. Any of you watching down at 1PP, because I know you guys pick up on the streams every once in a while, because even though your white shirts and stuff on the ground tell you one thing, you can sometimes see something totally different looking at different streams. This number of vehicles out here for this group, and you can look at any of the earliest streams, it's been peaceful, it's been calm. They've had breaks in between. Having these number of police officers out here and equipment, as well as the additional ones that he is calling over here, you need to break in on that phone call or get a hold of Nicholas and tell them they need to pull, you know, at least half of these away. They don't need all of this equipment out here. The reality is they could have had 3 police cars with the march. That's my advice today. So any of you in 1PP or downtown at the main surveillance center on Broadway watching, you know, or any of the random ones, give this asshole a call and let him know to go ahead and release some of these guys, because this is getting out of hand. And you know, I always talk about the image you keep saying you're trying to project, but I'm listening to people around here, and what they're saying is an excessive number of police vehicles for this group over here. Take the advice or don't. You don't take the advice, I'm more than happy to document it. Cop Watch is more than happy to document it, and we'll push it up the chain, whether it's to the Attorney General or whoever, and then go from there. I did my customary, if anyone from 1PP and others are watching, which they do from occasion on my stream, I know that. I said, you need to release at least half of these people right now. And that's, I mean, they have done it in the past. That's the only reason I address that every once in a while. I said, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. I'll be happy to document it. Cop Watch will be happy to document it. We'll pass it up the chain of command, you know?
That's like a picture. It's crazy.
I know. And I know these aren't more. I think that's an ambulance or something else. Okay, it's something else. Yeah. This is just, this is really just. Okay, he's off of his phone right now, so if you haven't given him a call, definitely give him a call. Tell him to start releasing some of these vehicles because it's... Okay, so now he's going to have them parked down there. That isn't what I was talking about. I was talking about having them go. Just parking down the street does not just that, because like everyone is still going to know that they're just an excessive number. So now they're going to look like an occupying force on both sides of the street, basically. Okay, anyone within my circle of friends that might be watching on Facebook or Twitter, which is more likely between Twitter and Facebook, with some of the groups here. I know some of you do have the phone numbers, personal phone numbers for Jamani Williams, Tish James, and others. Give them a call if you can. I know it's early, or someone on their staff that might be up. Have them review some of the footage or the live stream from over the night, and maybe give a call down to 1PP or whoever is on the ground here. So I'm figuring there's going to be there's going to be an additional 5 cars coming up. 5 to 6 cars at a minimum. Just because the cars down here made more space when they moved down the street. But that's the guy right there. I think he's bucking for a promotion that ain't gonna happen out of this situation. Okay. I will say this is only lending more credibility to this march and what they're saying, because the reality is everyone coming off of this train station and in the neighborhood are wondering why there are so many police vehicles for this group. So when you have more people joining this group and saying fuck 12 and talking about police suppression, this is one of the reasons why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, at least 15 right here, right now for this group. It's not working as an intimidation tactic. So it's a waste in terms of that. 2, I'm pretty sure there's actual incidents happening within this area. Also, if I find out that something happened within the 3-block or 4-block radius and these officers were sitting here, that's going to be what I'm going to highlight. Okay, let's up that number of police vehicles by 1 more. Just so another one turn the corner. So if the number holds out, you're basically going to have somewhere around 20, between 20 and 30 vehicles for this group, which is basically 1 vehicle per person. PSA 5. What the system's done to me, what the system's done to me. Cause us been put us down, us up and put us down. Ain't no justice in this town. Gotta love it. Yeah, it's crazy for sure. It's been this and a higher number all night. And for a group about that size, it's been at least twice this amount. That's why I know that there are others within the area. But they're going to find a way to justify it because there really isn't a reason for all of this. And I'm basically just waiting for one thing. And I'm hoping this is more police cars coming down because it'll just keep adding more validity to the fact of their excessive use of force and suppression. Oh, it's an ambulance, damn it. And most of you know me, I like to see the high numbers. It just helps, you know, put more fuel on the fire. And you realize they're blocking an entire lane right now. You're stupid. Sorry guys, not talking to myself, basically. The white shirt over there, it's actually stupid. Ah. Okay. Yep. Okay. Mama can see. Okay, there are a couple more police cars coming up. Cool. Yeah, there's like 2 more police cars. More equipment. Like I said, I love the excess. off and on, and it works. So I think the white shirt got in there because there's a little bit of sprinkle coming down, and also so he can probably take a nap. He was sort of yawning over there. I've seen someone actually rob a bank, and I haven't seen as many police cars outside there. So So we're over at Park Avenue and East 125th Street right now. And everyone's coming out to start their day. So this is the perfect platform to show what over-policing looks like. Those guys over there are looking back and forth wondering what the fuck's going on. Why? And that's basically everyone else in the neighborhood. Ain't no freedom in this town. So we're going into 19 hours of the 24-hour march. Yep, people are asking the questions again. Everyone coming out of the train stations are wondering what the fuck's going on. Why so many police for that group? They're all asking the same question. NYPD is not making any friends today. And that little crew over there will probably be in one of the future marches. And it's all going to be because of stuff like this. He did take a photo of the police cars first. He took a photo of the police cars first, that guy. Yeah. Wow. So right now everything is in a holding pattern. The white shirt is in the car half asleep over here. All the other officers are sitting in their car just basically thinking, why the fuck am I here? Yeah, 14. 11, 13. Yep. Okay. Ah, I knew there was something. I'm okay. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, ah. Cool. Huh. Oh, nice. Oh, I just love this. What the fuck? It's like, dudes. Talking about someone just being stupid. That guy over there is the dumbest. I'm pretty sure he's going to be retiring soon anyway. Yeah, guys, I'm just staying live.
You think I need to keep your shit? Fuck you.
You wonder what community looks like. They're currently looking at a situation where hasn't been cleaned up and the street cleaners aren't doing it. This is what community looks like. They see a situation and they immediately go to address it. They're actually cleaning up in the community. This guy is standing over there. He's got all those officers that could have come over here to clean up here. He won't do it. It takes the ones that the police are harassing to come over and actually do some good in the community. It's just like,
Someone take a, oh, y'all got it. Put that to fork. Oh, yeah. Yo, it is photographer. They got us right here. Right? Yo. I'll get more people.
yeah. I want to show. So what you have is the trucks going by cleaning up in the streets, but there's this trash on the sidewalk. Now, this group has been marching going on 19 hours now, while those police officers have been in cars walking maybe about 2 hours of the time, but in cars most of it. There's a situation where they could do something good in the community while they're parked over there. They sure as hell weren't coming over here to help clean up the community. The ones that these officers are out here trying to harass on the march, that are doing it for a valid reason, are the ones that came over here to actually start cleaning up and give back to the community, which is what it's about. This guy is sitting over here on his ass, on his phone, figuring out what the fuck to do. But you have these guys over here cleaning up. Abolition in action. Oh, fuck. Yes. Nice. Good. There's at least 14 NYPD vehicles out here with a minimum of 2 in each vehicle. You think they couldn't take the time where they're just sitting there to come out and clean up also? Yeah. And the police are keeping an eye on them. Nope.
I wish the police with some flyers, with some brooms and some dust there. All that money the police got, I wish they could give us some brooms and dust there. That'd be a beautiful thing right now. But they got too much. They too gangster. They too gangster for that type of shit.
That's true. Right here. Wow, this is shit. This is a hell of a job out here.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened out there. This ain't good.
Alright, so we're out of trash bags, so let's see if we can dump these trash bags into the big dump bin.
While these guys are cleaning up over here in the community, you have all of these police cars and officers over here sitting on their ass. And he's sitting on his ass on his phone. This is what taking care of your community looks like. Or mutual aid. It's helping where you can help. And that's what community is about. And that's exactly what they're doing. They have no idea how all this shit happened, but they saw a problem, they came together, and they're working to solve it. While you have all of these officers, which I keep highlighting, over here, sitting on their ass. And it's not like they weren't aware of all of this. So they're cleaning up all the shit that was out here from corner to corner, basically. It's what community is about.
Thank you, man. Last night was crazy. The amount of garbage I was had, it looked like a garbage truck came and dumped that shit.
Yeah, look, they were looking over and they were like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I tell you, I took pictures. Of course, I see nasty every day. But last night it was outrageous.
He was saying, he took a picture last night.
Yeah, it was outrageous.
That wasn't normal.
Yeah, I see it every day. I live about, I'm a little here, unfortunately.
Those are the people residing here, right?
I don't know who did it. I don't know. When I came out, it was hell. I came around 11 o'clock. I was like, what the?
Wow.
We've been here for hours alone.
Yep.
This is why y'all doing for the cleaning up.
They've been sitting over there. They could have come over and, helped. But they're following the group here. They did a march. Yeah, they were doing a march, and they've been following.
Desiree, I can get you on the phone. I hate to take outside, but I keep on police outside. Yeah, but nothing bad. Ain't nothing serious.
Nah.
Nothing serious.
Wow. Wow. I know. Oh, okay. And the cops are still sitting on their ass in their cars down here.
I'm gonna go and see if I can see this truck. I'll get some.
I mean, the extent of how bad it is over here. I mean, you heard the guy talking. It's like a garbage truck went by and just dumped a shit ton of stuff.
Oh! That should be their punishment. When they get an allegation, they do community service. No, like legit. They should be doing this shit.
Hey, get out of your fucking cars and come do your fucking job, bro. You know what?
Help us pick up this trash,
Help
please.
this shit
Help us pick up this trash. Oh wait, you're getting paid too much for that, right?
$1 million to watch people do your job.
They don't care.
Hey, cool.
Hey, white shirt. We still look like criminals?
Officer!
Huh?
Did you just fucking salute him?
Yep.
You're a bitch for
Excuse
saluting
me?
him, bro. This ain't the fucking army, bro.
Why you ignoring me, bro? I'm a human.
Dude, we need help. You got a broom, a shovel, anything other than a gun?
anything. Broom. Word. What's wrong with these people?
They'd rather watch us struggle. They love to watch us struggle. That's what you get paid for.
I'm just in one of those moods today, so sorry guys. Well, I mean, since you guys care about the community so much, you've got these officers sitting on their ass. You could send half of them over there to help them if you care about the community. Oh, of course you're going to do that. That's what you're trained to say in response. I understand. You don't want to get that white shirt dirty, do you? It's not these guys here. They're just following the orders of the white shirts on this stuff. It really isn't. But it's like I say a lot of times, a lot of them really don't want to be out here doing this shit. But, you know, they're ordered to, they got to do it.
Everywhere we go, people wanna know. Who we are.
Morning, Marianne. This is going on the 19th hour of Abolition Park, the 24-hour march that started at City Hall Park yesterday at 12. March kicked off around 1 o'clock. Currently, after going to Brooklyn, a couple of stops there, then back into Manhattan, up by Lincoln Center, then up here in Harlem. They were around the corner there where they were resting, but a number of them realized that there was a shit ton of trash from here going to the corner. It looked like a garbage truck had just dumped all this stuff out there. And even though they had this 13 police vehicles and all the other police that had been following them all day and all night, they saw a problem and they just came over and started cleaning up. My question is, you have all of these police officers in these vehicles and... Oh, okay. I know he didn't just say that. This guy's got to be the guy over there walking down. That guy walking down in the black, they says, if you get a chance, edit my face out. Yeah. I'm undercover. Yeah. And I'm just like, are you really fucking kidding? He's not. He can't be undercover to even be said. It's like,
He probably doesn't want to be seen though.
well, yeah, that's not a problem. But I was just like, that's not the reason to say that. The undercover part. I don't mind. I don't mind editing out, but or blurring out, but no, don't say that.
I'm about to stop these three people, bro.
So this is going on. We have another one. Like I was saying, you could have taken one officer out of each one of those cars and they could have come over and actually cleaned up this stuff. Like I told them, it's like if they're actually talking about, caring about the community,
I understand. I was going to ask you if they talk to some people. I was going to ask you if
You're not about to harass those people.
I'm not harassing her.
I'm saying, I know you're
Shit.
not harassing.
You a city worker that works for sanitation and we got a sanitation issue.
well, that's true.
I wish that's how it works. I wish that's how it works. I'm just a regular person who won't know and have
Wow. This is what oppression looks like. These guys are cleaning up and the police are actually hounding them because they're cleaning up. It's like not even at this point can they just like get off their ass and go. Wow. This gives you a full picture of how oppressive NYPD can be and has been for a very long time. And every time you think there's some progress being made, it actually isn't happening. It just escalates again and again and again. You know, this is really, really sad. You actually start to think about it. It took all of them to do it, which is good. I mean, that's what should be happening. But when you think about these guys, I mean, how much effort would it have taken? They already have gloves. They could have come out and actually just started cleaning up. It wouldn't have been a big deal. And it actually would have been good image for them in the community. Like I always say, they're always thinking about how the community is going on. But that just doesn't seem to click within them. So this is the white shirt that was actually over there before on the other side when we were over there, the one that was talking. And there's also the other officer in the back over there. And they're basically just keeping an eye on the stuff on that side. So the white shirt that was over here on this side basically answers to him. And as you know, 9 out of 10 times I'm not doing what Cop Watch is doing. I'm basically keeping track of who's in charge of who reports to who. and how they interact. So that's my main focus on a lot of things. And then that gets translated over to lawyers who basically follow through on other things, which leads to setting certain precedents and changes. The cop watch aspect is really just secondary when these guys get out of hand. And I actually hadn't intended to stay live, but at this point, as long as they've got this much equipment out here, I'm gonna stay live because it's excessive. He does the looking over and then darting his eyes away again. You see it as he does it, as opposed to white shirts that have been on the police force for God knows how long, who actually don't do that. A number of them are retired as of this year, I already know, but they wouldn't do something like that. He does. So it already gives me an idea of his personality and his training. He's still got a long way to go. He's still in how do we suppress something situation or a mentality, which is actually going back to Bratton's time on a lot of it, which is another aspect that I'll go into at a certain point. The Bloomberg era especially, but it's just an amazing aspect of everything. From what one of the neighbors said, the trash, he came out last night and all the trash that was out there from this corner going on down, it was like an explosion, as if someone had dumped a trash can out there. He has no idea. The thing is, once the group got up here, and of course, the shit ton of police that's always over policing everything as an intimidation tactic, a suppression tactic, yada, yada, yada. They all lined up. They all saw this shit going on, and they've been out here for a good hour and a half. They could have done something knowing that they're trying to present a positive image in the community. They didn't, and they ignore any questions you may ask them about it. And I understand that they're trained to do that, especially the white shirts. It's just drummed into their heads. It took this group over here to see what was out there, and it didn't take much decision making. You basically, there's a problem in the community, you go over and you address it, and they cleaned it up. And that's basically the whole situation. And then this white shirt who came up a little bit later went right back after getting briefed by the other white shirt that's been all night on the situation, and then jumped in his car to sit on his ass like most of them do, stare across the street, hoping that something negative happens so they have an excuse to go ahead and do something. He's just getting on duty maybe, so he's antsy to get something, which makes him a danger to anyone out there because he's going to put his own men in dangerous situations in that case. And right now, someone had messaged me about an hour ago about at least 4 different incidences within a 6-block radius of here that these officers were sitting on their asses and they were still waiting for officers to get to. And that's because these officers were sitting on their ass here. And they can't leave unless a white shirt tells them to go. Or they get an order from someone higher up. So these guys are intently staring at that. hoping that something happens. You know their necks are going to get stuck that way, especially the driver. Then he's not going to be able to look forward. And I know he heard me because he's blinking his eyes at a rapid enough pace. And I love that. This is why I tell you, it's like document and don't interact, just observe. And there's certain patterns that everyone does. I do it, everyone. But what they learned, I learned going back in the 70s and 80s. So I basically have 40 years worth of experience in doing these observations. So it's like, it's a joke when I look at them doing that. You know, it's a waste of energy. And I know they, especially, he learns it in the academy and so on and so forth, but it's a waste of energy. And from personal people I know who were on NYPD, who I used to drink with and everything else, going way back. Back when they actually used to take people in the back room and beat them with a telephone book. Going that far back. But it was a whole different world. Also, the crew in Italy and Irish over in Hell's Kitchen, but they would never have acted like these guys are acting here. But things have changed on there. And the reality is they would have never had all of these cars sitting out here, not even for a protest like this. They would have known better than to have this much equipment sitting here. But then again, the budget was smaller back then. So they did get a garbage truck to come around and actually do something. You know, these guys could have called the garbage truck for them. Even if they didn't get out of their cars, they could have called sanitation to say, some people are cleaning up, could you bring a garbage truck over to let them load it in? They didn't do it. That would have been a plus. And people who know, I try to look for nice things. Positive things. I have always tried to do that. Don't look for the negative. But every time I find something that I think is positive, something negative always pops up. You know? And at this point, I've given up on thinking that I'm going to see anything positive when it comes to something like this. It's, at this point, it's ridiculous. That's why the only ones I may have any interaction with are the ones that were in First Precinct originally through Occupy, and I will have side conversations with them if something's going on for a couple of minutes. That's about it. But our agreement is basically they'll arrest me if I do something, and they know I'm going to do it anyway. So just how it is. But this is a whole new crop that has a different mentality, and it's going to end up getting knocked out of them at a point. Either that or half of them are going to lose their jobs. So these guys have done their job. They've done good for the community. Something that anyone in the neighborhood should have been able to help out with. And especially these guys over here, or these guys over here, they could have helped out. But if you look at the street over there now, all of this. which looked like a garbage heap at one point, is now this. And even with that, they still have all of this out here. And you still have these guys over here staring intently. Something that they would have just drove by and not even contacted sanitation about. That's the sad thing about it. So you tell me, who's doing more for their community or the communities that are out here? And like I've always said, it's not an easy job they have. I understand that. But these people are fighting for their lives, for the lives of others, exercising their right to free speech, to protest. And protesting and exercising your right when there's injustices doesn't require a permit. That was not put in the Constitution. If you're going to exercise your right to free speech and to protest, address your grievances, you need a permit. It's sort of like, when the fuck did that happen? It happened when these guys decided there's money involved and that they could go ahead and control aspects of it. That's when it started. And they used the permits and everything else as a method of controlling. So, in theory, if you want to protest the police, you have to go to the police to get a permit to protest them. So basically you have to ask them for permission to protest them. In any world, can you tell me how that makes any type of sense? Oh, yeah. Even I was saying, and I know they could hear me in there, I was like, so wait, they could have called a sanitation truck, said there's people cleaning up, send the truck over. They didn't need to do that. You know, it's like, huh. And I know these guys are like basically sitting in their cars like, why the fuck are we actually just saying, shut up, you're getting paid, aren't you? That's it. Ah. This is sad, sad, sad. Really sad, guys. You're looking pathetic out here right now with all of this. All of these cars with this group that was just cleaning up over there. You're looking very sad and pathetic to the community right now. And I know you don't care. And your excuse is going to be that you're just following orders. I understand that. Throughout history, it's just been people following orders. Pretty sure some of your great-grandparents died or had to leave their country because somebody was just following orders. Sad, guys. Are you saying interview the white shit? No, they're not gonna answer an interview. Anyone that I'd interview that would even remotely give honest answers that are with NYPD are either getting ready to retire or so far high up right now that they would not be out here on the street. The only time I might see them is on Occupy Wall Street's 10-year anniversary, because some of them do come out just because they've interacted since 2011. But these guys, no. They wouldn't be able to give straight answers. They aren't capable of thinking for themselves and actually interacting in a meaningful dialogue. The ones I know going back to 2011, you can actually have a meaningful dialogue with, and that's actually happened. But these guys, no. Just ain't gonna happen. If you want to get a good interview, there's retired Philadelphia Police Captain Ray Lewis. You might want to look that up on like YouTube or something, but his reasons for coming down to Occupy Wall Street in 2011 and then going forward. And I know I had spoken to him about 4 years ago, and he had mentioned how he was threatened by the union to have his benefits cut if he didn't stop speaking out about what was going on in the police department, and, you know, basically speaking out against police brutality and abuses. It's the same in New York as Philadelphia or anywhere else. The only thing is that there's an ingrained mentality here that goes way back. And I don't want to put it on the Irish aspect of it. It's just that there happened to be a lot of Irish cops during that time, and, you know, but yeah, there's a lot that goes way back. I mean, because this is a lot more even than the mentality of the Marine Corps. And I've got respect for the Marines. So actually, it looks really nice over there right now. It really does. This is like one of the most amazing cleanup jobs I've seen in a very long time. Wow. Yep, really taking care of community is what it's about. So now I'm back to our regularly scheduled program as the people exit the train station and come out in the community and start asking questions about why there are so many police cars over here for groups sitting peacefully over here. And whatever they tell anyone, if they do decide to answer anything, is not going to be the truth. It's going to be a corrupted version of the truth. And keep in mind also, all of these officers are getting paid to sit here right now. And if you figure on average about 40 officers and you figure how much they're getting paid to just sit here basically for 2 days worth of time. And if they've actually gone straight through, they're actually getting overtime, some of them. That's a shit ton of money. And that's a shit ton of money to keep an eye on this group. They are so dangerous. And NYPD talks about they need more officers because of all the crime. Well, they must not need more officers if they can have all of these officers sitting here all of this time. Then they definitely don't need more officers. Because there must not be that much crime if they're sitting on their ass over here like this. And especially for that little group. I mean, come on. I had said it before earlier on the earlier stream. They could easily have cut loose half of these cars, and there would have been no issue with that, because they know they can actually request more cars if they need it at any time, if there's actually an emergency situation. So if you have 11, let's say 12, they could have 6 cars there, and then this one car. That's the most they need for this group right now. So if there really is crime happening all over the place, as bad as they make it out to be, when the union is making their statements or the higher-ups are making their statements downtown, then move the officers out to somewhere else. Half of them. I mean, I think the last budget request that I sat in when they were looking for money for the police academy and stuff, I haven't in a while, but looking at all of this stuff, I'm going to start doing that again. And actually making sure to bring in documentation, footage of the excessive use, because this is really just getting out of hand. So when they're asking for that money, and I can show and pass it on to the city council people that need to have that, can basically show that they don't need the money. If they need the money, then why did they have all these officers sitting around if crime is so bad? And if they can have officers sitting around like this, then they don't need more officers. You know, I want to be fair about that. If there's 11 or 12 cars, there's probably 2 per car, so 24, 25, 26, 27. Maybe 30 officers. There may be a little bit more, but let's say 30 officers based on these vehicles and this one. So it's a little bit more. It's almost a 1-to-1. But yeah, I think there's maybe 30 here, so 1-to-1. And that's just being fair on that. Now, if I see a ton of other vans around the SRG and stuff that was over by Lincoln Center, that's a different situation. But currently, from what I'm visually seeing from here, I'd say there's a 1-to-1 ratio. But that can change at any time, so. And I never take anything for granted. Just depends who's on the ground at the moment. And how much experience whoever's on the ground and the one that's in charge has. The less experience dealing with situations like this is when they usually have a tendency to overuse of manpower and equipment. Just because they have the bars on their, collars doesn't mean that they have experience dealing with specific groups like this or specific protests. The only thing that they know is from the training is to have large numbers, to use suppression tactics. It's basically like looking in a book, do A, B, C, D. Which is not a good thing, actually. I remember during World War II, the ones that went into OSS were not the ones who followed orders, the ones that were able to think for themselves. One of the tests was climbing up a ladder in a dark room, and you were told to jump. People that went up and jumped were immediately excluded. Those that actually stopped, thought, and went back down were the ones that usually passed on to the next phase. But here, there's not a lot of thinking that goes into play. It's by the book. So, and I sort of judge a lot of stuff based on a different time period. And yeah, what I've seen is really pathetic. And looking at this out of the 26th precinct also, which explains a lot as well. And that's a whole other story. So we're going on 21 hours of the 24-hour march, which means 3 more hours. If it was me, I would sit here for another 12 hours just to have them sit out here. So they're actually pretty lucky it's not me doing this stuff. If this was 6 years ago, yeah, I would do it. And then I'd take them for a nice long walk. And not jump on the train, but I mean a real long walk. And a run. And a jog. They're getting off pretty easy. Ain't no sunshine when she comes. Doom, doom, doom. It's not warm when she's away. Boom, boom, boom. Ain't no sunshine when she comes. Oh, gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Doom, doom, doom. They know, they know, they know, they know, they know she don't want them. Boom. This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home. Sorry guys, I digress. That's not me. yeah, I don't go down that route. It's just been a long, long night and a stupidity non-stop. So, and that tires me more than even the long night. I figured I spent the last hour and a half focused on the cars down there. I figured why not focus on them. Yeah, every once in a while. Way I look at it, I'd normally at this time be drinking my coffee, going over my notes, looking for actual news stories happening today that I need to cover. A video that I need to submit to some news outlets, which I've been neglecting to do. And listening to music. But instead, because of their dumbasses being out here in such high numbers, I have to stay out here. Because when you have these numbers, it's obvious that at a certain point, they're going to do something stupid just so that they can assert their authority. That they're the big honchos, the bully in the room or whatever. So, here we are. I hope that white shirt isn't sleeping in the car. If he does actually doze off, I'm actually going to go over there and record that. I don't think his superiors would actually like that. Because I think actually in the guidebook, the idea of sleeping in your car is frowned on very heavily. Especially by an officer. God forbid it was, you know, a patrolman, but yeah. A white shirt falling asleep in his car. There'd be a shitstorm downtown about that. Especially him getting caught sleeping in his car. So he better stop dozing off over there. If he needs to wake up, then get out and do a walk around. Go and talk to those men down there. They're all sitting in their car down there. You're sitting on your ass in there. Go over there and talk to them. If this was the Army, Lieutenant would have already went down there and started talking to his men. And I can only speak from the Army standpoint. But I know the Marines would do the same thing, but there's a difference. If he was in the service, he's forgotten everything. You always take care of the enlisted men. Always. Check in with them, make sure they're going to be okay, everything's going good. You keep their morale up. You don't just sit in your ass. That's an armchair general. That's why sergeants, non-commissioned officers always say they work for a living. You know, they can look over at the group. They don't have to not look at the group. That's their job. not frowning on them, looking over to see what's going on. That's a natural reaction to do it. To ignore it is the stuff that just looks odd. It's them consistently staring nonstop. Okay, now we're looking at almost 2 to 1 because some people already left, so there's probably like 2 officers to each person over there right now. So, yeah, numbers are going down, but they're going to keep their numbers up. Just looks good for them to go ahead and do that, but not to the neighborhood. See these people? These are the people, sort of like the French Revolution, which always rises up. So when they think that they don't have to worry about these are the individuals they need to worry about. Because these are the people that actually see when shit like this is happening. That's why I enjoy it so much, because you have working class, struggling people who actually see the shit going on. And these are the people who will support that group back here. Not tomorrow, now. Everywhere we go. Oh my God, they're marching.